Now we're going to head back and cover more selectors. So we're going to cover selectors in more depth, right? So over here, what we're going to do is we're going to say this is going to be heading 1, or here like this. I'm going to say ID, and let's say this is going to be 1, right? And then I'm going to say that I am heading, right, with an ID, right, over here like this. Then over here, we're going to create a paragraph, and then we're going to say the paragraph is going to have class over here, and we're going to say generic, or here like this. And we're going to say I am paragraph generic, right? So I am generic paragraph. So generic or here like this. And then we're going to say that this is going to be a regular paragraph or here like this. And we're going to say that this is going to have no classes. So I'm going to say I am a simple paragraph or here like this. And then we're going to create a unordered list or here like this. And we're going to say this is going to be an ordered list. And then within an ordered list, we're going to have a list item. Over here, we're going to write that this is going to be home. And then we're going to copy this one, let's say 2 times, right? So over here, 1, and over here, 2. And then we're going to have over here, a ordered list, right? So over here, within the home, right? We're going to have a ordered list over here like this. And we're going to say this is going to be home item over here. And then we're going to copy these guys too. Right, so here 1, 2, and total is going to be 3. And then we're going to continue with our unordered lists, right? So I'm going to say list item over here, and then I'm going to say this is going to be about, and this is also going to have a class. I'm going to say that class is going to be generic also, right? So the same for the paragraph. So generic over here, generic over here. The more important thing is they should match, right? And over here, we're just going to create a few more list items, right? And we're going to have the same ones, right? So we're going to say about, and let's say we're going to have like 2 more, right? So now we have generic one, and then we have an about, right? So let's head right now to main CSS and start working with our selectors. So obviously we should be already familiar with an ID, right? We can say 1 over here, and the background color, and we're going to start as always with a red, right? So obviously only the ID gets actually targeted, right? Because the ID with a name of 1. Then over here we have a class, and we're going to say generic over here, and we're going to say the background color, and we're going to use a yellow, right? So now you can see that again, as always, we're targeting 2 classes, right? Because both of these elements have the class, right? So after that, we would want a simple one, right? So we're just going to say that this is going to be paragraph over here, and with the paragraph, we're going to say that this is going to be background color, and let's say we're going to say blue, right? Now the thing is, you can see that only this paragraph gets selected, right? Because obviously over here we have a more specific one, right? So this one has a class, and over here we're just targeting a paragraph, right? And both of them should be, but since this class is actually has a background color also, obviously this overwrites it, right? And these are the things we should already know about, right? So let's go ahead and let's talk about descendant selectors. So if I write over here ULLI over here like this, and then I'm going to say that this is going to be background color, and we're using the background colors because again, in my opinion, it's the most easiest one to see. And if I go with this aqua, right, so we can see right away that first of all, we're targeting all the LIs, right? But again, remember this guy, right? Because it has the class, right? It actually overwrites it, right? So let's keep moving on, and let's go to direct children, right? So if I'm going to say ordered list LI or here like this, and then I'm going to say that what would be the background color, right? And let's say pink over here, right? Nothing happens because I'm a moron and I actually over here messed it up, right? So over here, if this is the list item, right? So this should be an ordered list, right? And then we should be creating a list items. So what I need to do over here is we need to delete this guy, right? And actually create a list items over here like this. And then we're going to say home and about, right? Sorry about that, guys. Over here, what we need to do over here, just delete this and just copy these list items, right? 1, 2, right? And now we can see that if we're targeting just children, right, over here, just an ordered list and just the children of ordered list. Now after that, what I would want to cover is actually if I go with LI, right, then I'm going to say the class, which is generic over here like this, and then I'm going to say that actually I would want to change the background color, right? So I'm going to say again background color, and in this case we're just going to say this is going to be something like beige, right? So you see what happened. this actually, we can write it like this, right? So we have the element over here, then we right away write the class, right? And over here we need to use the same way, right? We have the dot, and then we have the class. And also obviously the same way we could have done it with an ID, right? So if I write the same way, it's going to work like this, right? So heading 1 and ID over here, right? And we can just delete this one, right? But with ID, it obviously doesn't make much sense because already ID should be unique, right? But in general, here you can see, right, that we're targeting over here this li with a class of generic, right? And this actually overwrites the class. And after that, let's look at a few more, right? We're gonna have li. I'm gonna say generic. But what if we would write something like this, right? Plus, and over here li, right? What's gonna happen is background color. And again, the hardest part is going to be selecting the color, and color brown, right? You can see that this guy turns brown. And the reason is that this is going to be adjacent sibling, right? So the moment over here, the next li actually is going to have a selector, right? So we're selecting class generic, and right away, the next adjacent sibling over here, this li. And then also over here, what we can do another one, right? We're going to say li. I'm going to say generic, and then what we're going to say is over here left hand side from number 1 over here we select this one, right? Again, find number 1 on your keyboard and right next to the left over here this guy, and then we're going to say li, right? And what's going to happen is we're going to be targeting all the siblings, right? So over here I'm going to say background color, and we had the pink, we had the brown, we had the beige, I don't know, coral, right? And now I can see that we're targeting all of them, right? So if I'm going to go back over here, and we're going to add some more list items over here, right? So 4, 6, whatever, right? So this is going to be targeting all the siblings over here that are going to be after class of li. And this is just to show you that selectors get way more complicated than just one ID and one class and one type, right? So we're really getting into the weeds, and we're actually going to continue doing that just so we can become experts in CSS.